Halfway home in this 2024 season for the Case Cardinals, 6-6 as they welcome in the Dighton Rehoboth Falcons, a similar record, 7-5, but a 5-run loss to them on the road back in April. Thanks for joining us, Brady Kudo, Tyler Clark, Jackson McLean taking the bump for the Cardinals today. The major difference in that first game against DR, Aiden Borges got shelled pretty early. Remember, McLean allowed 1 run against the Division IV state champion Seekonk on opening day, 3-pitch mix. How does he match up against this DR lineup?
I don't think we're going to see a lot of runs in this game, Brady. We have probably the 2 best pitchers from both teams going at it right here. Facing Ben Miller from DR, a D1 recruit for college for pitching and only a junior. I don't think we're going to see either team crack 10 runs. I could be wrong about this, but I think scoring is going to be at a premium. I expect to see a lot of really good defense from both teams, a lot of good pitching from both teams as well. And I think we're just going to be in for a tight game. I mean, 13 to 10 games are exciting, 8 to 7 games, but I have no idea. This game could end up being like that, but on paper, I think we're going to see a pretty good low-scoring game, very tightly contested.
But who doesn't love the old pitcher's duel?
Oh, I love 2-1 games, 3-2 games.
Exactly.
It's exciting, I mean. And there we go with the ball to start off.
This is Charlie Roth who takes ball 1 inside from McLean. 3-pitch mix. Miller will go 5 pitches at a time. Of course, being recruited heavily by several New England area schools, Roth snubs that one off to the right and out of play. Falcons 7-5. Was talking with several sources and they said, on record, they did not believe, or on from the top of the memory there rather, they have not won a game Miller has not pitched. So the majority of those 7 wins, I believe Miller has about 5 of them. So it goes to show you.
That just goes to show how good Miller is.
Exactly.
But you see this often with the team. Okay, that's a base hit.
Roth reaches right between that 5-6 hole.
You see these teams that have one excellent pitcher, and you make it to the postseason, it'll probably get you past the first round, but you need the depth.
But at that, now that's a decision, obviously, with certain circumstances, as Jordan Castro, the left fielder, steps in. If you're playing a weaker team in the playoffs, do you almost save your best arm?
You never want to do that.
Gracie will go for the 1. High throw. Check on Roth at second. And Castro reaching on Gracie's error.
I don't know if I think he was past the base anyway. You want to give an error? Okay. I'm a lot more generous than you are.
This is Miller.
Man of the hour.
Yeah, right.
Also, would like to mention a very unusual start time, 5 p.m. game here.
Well, this was, and we'll get into the circumstances as to why, and it's not even 5, is Miller. Beautiful hit over the head of Kern. This should score.
They're going to hold
Roth,
that runner.
but Castro went too far. They're going to have a play at second, throw back to second. Castro is out. The throw to the plate, Duquesne. That is a beautifully executed double play. Great heads-up awareness from LaBeouf in center to get it to Kern and Duquette. That is exactly what you need in a spot like this.
My ears are ringing from that right now. Beautifully executed, but running themselves into oblivion too. That was a base hit.
Yes, after all is said and done, Miller is credited with a single, and we went from bases juiced, nobody out, to a runner on first and 2 outs with a couple blinks of the eye. This is Lucas Latorno, the first baseman, with Miller leading off of first.
That was quite an opening sequence there.
To say the least.
Put it one way. I was going to say I had a pickoff and let's have 3 outs in 1 inning, and I don't think that didn't happen. I don't think I've ever seen 3 outs on the base path in
no.
1 inning.
No. And you've been around this sport a lot longer, obviously, than I have. Latorno on the ground. That's through. That same spot that Roth put it in. 3 hits in the inning given up by McLean, and that'll bring in Brennan Silva doing the catching.
2 of them in almost the same exact spot.
Around the diamond for the Cardinals, Dylan Emerald back at third, Adam Gracie at the shortstop, Zach Kern the second baseman, Reed Olmsteiner getting the start at first in favor of Lucas Saltmarsh, who does the designated hitting. Left to right, Aiden Borges, Will LaBeouf, Lucas Bulio, with Ben Duquette catching Jackson McLean for the first time this season. Silva takes ball one high. Two runners on, two gone in the inning for McLean. In that interesting scenario,
It's
to say the least. Chopper, Amaral, up, fire. That's how you get out of a jam.
I don't see that very often. 0 runs on 3 hits in the inning.
With 2 left on.
And 2 left on.
So going back to Dighton Rehoboth and the impact Miller has, okay. The Falcons are 7-5. We had pointed out that a majority of that 7 has come from games in which Miller has pitched. The majority of that 5 has come from games he's not pitched. He had the Cardinals the first time these two teams met back in Rehoboth. It was 7-2 with Miller pitching a shutout for most of that game.
They got 2 runs in the 7th inning or 6th. It was at the very end.
It was at the very, very end. He pitched against Oliver Ames. They won 10-3. Interesting, he did not pitch, I don't believe, against Fian. Dighton Rehoboth lost 15-4. Bishop Fian has a sophomore named Brody Bumil who hits 94, and he's 16 years old. He's a 6'7 lefty. We'll be seeing him in Power 5 play sooner than we think.
I have a cousin of mine who's playing for Bryant right now.
Okay.
Who was recruited by, he went to Bishop Hendricken.
Yep.
Brandon Duran. I've never met him.
But he's your cousin.
He's my cousin, like second or third.
But you've never met him?
I've never met him.
Okay.
He's doing absurd for Bryant right now.
Okay.
He was going to go to Kentucky. Then he got injured.
That's your cousin?
That's my cousin.
Oh, I know who that. I didn't know you guys were related.
I didn't know. My mother tells me this. That's apparently.
What is this?
Yeah. Brandon Duran's related.
Because I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, it's not like a first cousin. It's like a second or third in the line.
But still, I know exactly who you're talking about. I had no idea you guys were related.
I'd have to check. Let me see if my mother. Let me ask. I'm a lineage.
Well, regardless, he pitched rather against Apponequet. They won 7-6. Apponequet's a really good offensive team. And I don't know off the top of my head the other games he pitched, and then you look at the losses. Like, Fian obviously is going to go run for a state championship. They squeaked by Norton by 2, and you know how shaky the Norton Lancers are.
Yeah, so that was the game I did solo. This is only the second game, baseball game I've done. My first one with you this season. Norton, in my opinion, was a team that this Case team should have beaten. We had, I don't mind, it's never the fault of an umpire. I'm never going to say that. There were some questionable calls in the game, but Case also did not break through a few times when they really should have.
Gracie quickly behind 0-2.
Miller does not waste any time.
No.
He's like Chris Sale up there. He gets the ball and he's ready to go. That one got away.
Missed high. But the loss, with the 5-0 to Somerset loss, I don't, Somerset beat Case 10-3. I don't rate Somerset as high as other, writers, other broadcasters. I just don't. I don't think they're a great offensive team. Pitching, they're sound. Will Dion, their ace, is going to go play at St. Joe's in Maine with his former catcher, Brady Cabral. They squeaked by OR 2-1. Very inconsistent, much like the Cardinals.
I think this DR team matches up overall very similarly to Case.
I agree.
The big difference is DR has one dominant ace and Case has a number of pretty decent pitchers.
Gracie down on strikes. Will LaBeouf will step in with one away.
And similar record, similar, pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Just the one difference is that they have one. I'm not gonna say above average because I think
You're right.
To give
You're
him
correct.
credit.
No, but in this context, you are correct.
He's their true ace.
Where Case doesn't have it yet. LaBeouf right in the mid and back out of Miller.
That's just a ground out.
Yeah.
I thought he caught it.
It looked like he initially did.
I think he thought he caught it too.
Olmsteiner will check in. Will LaBeouf, of course,
that was an out, but LaBeouf got some good contact on that.
He did. LaBeouf, of course, off to Westfield State next year to play some college ball. Adam Gracie to Gordon College.
College sports is a ramp up from high school level sports.
Yes.
You can be the best player in your high school team. You get to college and you're on the bench.
It's interesting how it works, especially in a smaller environment. Now, I'm not to say that Gracie and LaBeouf are automatically going to go to college and do nothing. Of course, anything can happen. The times we see it, fly ball, shallow left center field, backing up is done, and the inning is over. 1-2-3 down the Cardinals.
Pretty straightforward inning. That's a lot more straightforward than that DR inning was.
2 up for the Falcons. It's Maddox Mendoza, Kevin Gauzy, and Gavin Solera. Third baseman, designated hitter, right fielder. McLean will reclaim the bump again.
DR was not afraid to swing early in the count. I did notice that.
It seems to be the growing trend.
Well, I mean, if it's a good pitch, why not swing at it? Swing at
I
it.
always liked, again, I wasn't anything fantastic.
Yeah.
I always like to see 1, maybe even 2. Just to see, obviously, if you have a guy who is losing his command or is newer, definitely take 2.
Yeah.
That I was just very patient. 1 always. Always, unless, I mean, it had to be there. And if it wasn't exactly where I wanted it, I wouldn't even try. I would just watch it. Okay. Get the little, inner thoughts. I know you know what that's like. And then, proceed from there. This is Maddox Mendoza, the third baseman.
Everybody does it differently.
Yeah.
Most notorious MLB player for swinging at the first pitch is Nick Castellanos.
Oh, yeah. Now, we pointed out the awkward start time of what ended up being 4:53.
Yeah, we started a little earlier.
We started, which is totally okay. Mendoza, foul ball, straight back, and onto Cardinal Way. Interesting, because this game was supposed to be yesterday at 3:45, or I say yesterday, yeah, Monday, 3:45. There were field issues, so they pushed it back to 5 o'clock. DR, transportation issues for that time. So they pushed it to today at 5 o'clock. The JV team was originally going to be at Dighton Rehoboth. They were home, and they're going to be at Dighton Rehoboth. Now they're home. They're back home.
They're playing,
Mendoza
they're playing right now, too.
Playing right now at the Swansea Little League complex. Odd to say, but I don't mind the 5 o'clock start.
It's just...
I got to go home. You got to take some extra time. Kern in on the grass. 1 away.
I don't know if we've even done 2 games this year that started at the same time. Dartmouth, the softball game we did. Well, no, we've done 2. I guess we've done 2 3:45 games. We did a 4 o'clock. We did an 11 a.m. game. Now we have.
I loved that 11 a.m. Especially it was like 70 minutes.
Oh, softball's just.
Yeah.
So, now an hour. And then
I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, we got to speed the game up. We got to speed the game up. But the fact that, you know, the Cardinals were so good in that short amount of time was brilliant. Gowsey down 0-2. Out of play. Top 25 worth noting, this is a top 25 showdown as well. Dighton Rehoboth in the Division 3 power rankings came in at 23rd. The Cardinals in the Division 4 power rankings coming in at number 14.
I think the division there is a little subjective because
right, which is why originally I didn't bill it as a top 25 showdown because of the different divisions. Gowsey pirouetting out of the way.
Yeah, I got a laugh out of his.
Sure. Count even at 2. Chips one foul. Okay, softball remains number 1.
Well deserved.
Well deserved indeed. Great write-up by Steve Sanchez on Lila Alvarez in her great season. Go ahead.
It's just not fair. It's just they just win the state tournament and then they turn around with a freshman pitcher who shuts out one of the best teams in the SEC.
Mile high down, Olmschneider, hatless, 2 away.
Lost his hat. Well, that was so high.
That was, yeah.
As I was saying, like, K softball is like the Yukon of Division 4 softball in the state. It's just, like, you win the state tournament and then...
Not even just Division 4.
Just in general.
In general.
Just Alvarez comes in as a freshman and can shut out DR.
I would say she's putting up numbers, quite frankly, ridiculous
DR
numbers.
thinks that they're just like finally on the breakthrough and they lose twice to Case this year.
Right.
Case did lose. They are
to
beatable.
Apponequet.
Apponequet's a good team.
Yeah. They were projected, depending on how you would portray second or third in the SEC. Cardinals, of course, projected first. This is Gavin Solera down 0-1. Quickly behind 0-2.
I mean, we've done 3 softball games this year, and each time they won by at least 10 runs.
Yeah.
Well, you did. I did 2 with you, and then I did 1 on my own. Was there another one? I think it was
No.
just the third. Okay. It was Dartmouth, Bourne, and Fairhaven.
Yeah.
And
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. 3 up, 3 down for McLean. We remain dotted at 0 at the end of the top of the second.
My brother says Duran and I are related as we are second cousins once removed.
Yeah, we could throw out the 5 times, 3 times removed, 8th cousins, 14 times removed. I've got no idea what any of it means.
It says my mother and his grandfather are first cousins. So my grandmother and his great-grandfather were brother and sister.
Your grandmother and his great-grandfather?
And his great-grandfather
were brother and sister.
Yes.
How does that work?
I'm just reading off the messages. But now you know, Brandon Duran and I are related.
Amaral, Borges, Saltmarsh. Amaral feasted off of Ben Miller in the first game, went 3 for 4 with an RBI double. Looks at strike 1.
Miller's all, it's the ball, boom, he's ready.
Amaral, heck of a miss.
He is no Daisuke Matsuzaka.
Oh my goodness, he would take forever.
60 seconds in between pitches.
Lord. Looked a little off the plate, but nonetheless, it's a called strike 3. Steps Aiden Borges. First time facing Miller in his young career.
Oh, man.
Ball one low, yeah.
They got in there fast.
Borges hitting 241. It's for a freshman.
No, it's
On the ground, right back to Miller, hit off his leather, and there are 2 away.
good contact.
Sure.
That was a base hit if the pitcher wasn't standing there.
I agree. Saltmarsh hitting 207 in 12 games played. This is exactly what we thought it would be. Now, granted, we've played just about 2 innings.
Yeah. Saltmarsh, I think, has pretty good shot out of anybody to get a hit here. The lefty.
Right field, pretty open. Solera shading more towards the McGarry in center, who is shifting more towards Castro in left. So they're hugging the line for Saltmarsh, who pulls it more often than you think. Saltmarsh ahead in the count. Now, I do appreciate that the game time temperature was 76 degrees. It is shorts weather, it is sunglasses weather, but bring a sweatshirt. It gets chilly as the hours go by. Thankful, finally. We're not dealing with wind.
Oh, that might be a base hit. That's going to be a tough play.
Mendoza up, bad throw, Saltmarsh.
I think he was safe
He's
anyway.
on, yeah.
I'll fight you on that one. He was.
I don't know how they would put it in the official stat.
I'm going that he was
feed.
He was past the bait, and he didn't advance on the throw.
I agree. So because I was to say because he did not advance on the throw, I will give that. Yeah,
that's a bit.
I'm open for negotiation.
That's an infield single. If we look at the replay later, and he would have been out, then if you want to be the one that looks at the replay of that, then go for it.
Duquette struggling, 1 for 20 on the season. Looks at strike 1. Duquette right down the first base line, a little off, right to Latorno.
Good hustle.
Yeah. A little jam shot. But they've cracked Miller's can open.
I mean, all it takes is an infield single sometimes to get your confidence, and that's what they got.
They cracked the Miller can open, which is oddly works. I didn't even do it on purpose. McGarry done. Back to the top for the Falcons.
I'm curious if Dunn is going to bat, because he's on.
They didn't say he wasn't batting on the lineup card. Sometimes they'll put him closer to the bottom.
Oh, we'll see who's
or
on.
Maybe because Miller is batting. It varies. There's not a whole heck of a lot of consistency.
I see Roth over there with the helmet on.
Right.
I see.
You don't see Dunn.
I don't see Dunn. I see Roth and Castro with helmets on.
All right, so then that means Dunn is not batting. I wish, I like the way, I will say, I got to give credit to Coach Yu. Because if he's not hitting, he will just outright say, not hitting. Just on the thing. on his card, not hitting. Like, thank you for being transparent as possible.
And his handwriting is on point.
It is when he wants it to be.
Yeah.
Just like me. Don't laugh.
Brady had to point at the printed roster.
Well, listen.
To tell me the names of the players.
McGarry, hack and miss.
So it's not 9-10-1, it's 9-1-2 due up right now.
Sure.
For the Falcons.
We'll go with that.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
No, you're right. Because Roth is in the on-deck circle.
Oh, nice pitch. Could help out a bit, but it was
Little Scotty Scheffler. 0-2. (0-2) from McLean. Goodbye. 2 Ks for McLean, and the card turns over to Charlie Roth, who singled and was caught at home.
It was quite a sequence in that first inning. There's almost no world where DR shouldn't have scored at least one run out of that.
You know, you turn around, you take a sip of your coffee, and there's 2 outs and 1 runner on.
Well, I think what happened was, so Roth was on second, and Castro was on first, and Miller singled to center, and we can look at the footage of this again later if we need to. I think Castro thought that Roth was going to keep coming home, and then he was surprised when he got held up, and then he was way off the base.
And Castro is just watching them in that sequence. Castro's quicker than Roth.
Yeah.
Roth had already slowed down. Castro had his head down running as Roth looks at a strike.
I was surprised when Roth got held up.
I thought so. I was surprised as well.
I think he would have made that.
I think so as well. I mean, so could it be 1-0 right now? Yeah, maybe. Good spot for McLean. But nonetheless, Castro he was about a quarter. Yeah, he had about 25 feet between him and third, and then he had to go back to second, of course, because Roth had stopped. Kern drifting toward the right field grass and puts it away.
That's a good play by Kern.
Yeah.
It was not easy.
It's his second put out of the day.
I thought that the right fielder could have come in and grabbed that.
Yeah, Julio was coming in hard, but Kern, of course, with a shorter distance to go. Castro reached on that error by Gracie.
The game against Norton, which you were not here for, Bulio did not hit in that game. All he did was he played left. He caught the first 2 outs of the game.
Borges pitched, right?
Borges.
Yeah.
I think so.
Castro down 0-1.
I didn't write it down. I think it was Borges, though.
Outside corner, generous to McLean.
It's 5-3 was that game.
Yeah. 0-2 to Castro. Fly ball. Gracie drifting. Here comes Borges. He calls the shortstop off. And efficiency is the name of the game. We're halfway through 3, scoreless.
3 up, 3 down again. This game is going by very fast.
Bulio, Kern, Gracie.
Well, I will be heading up to Fenway on Saturday.
Very nice.
The director of my school that I'm at right now, teach 5th grade at, is retiring after 51 years in education. So he's being honored at the game. So there's a group of us heading up. They're going to be playing the Nationals. We have Red Sox have consecutive games against the NL East. Braves and then the consecutive series, sorry.
I'm supposed to go. All right, so there's backstory.
Wow.
My dad's favorite player of all time is Trot Nixon. All right. Trot being inducted to the Red Sox Hall of Fame on the 29th of May. So for Christmas, I got him tickets to the game that after, because they're on the road the 29th. They're in Baltimore, and then they come home to play Detroit. So I got them tickets to the May 30th game. It's class night.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you shouldn't miss that.
So I had to sell the tickets. So I told him, I said, oh, I'll work on a new game. He's like, no, that's fine. I said, no. Like, I was like, aside from this being a gift, we have not been to Fenway in almost a decade. I was like, I've been with other people. I've been with my father. But I was like, I haven't been with you. We need a day.
Is this the same dad that was sitting in the stands with you for your first?
Yes.
Okay. Your first ever broadcast,
Yes.
and he's sitting in the stands with you, basically poking you to talk.
Hey.
And then now look at you.
It's like that meme with the stick. Do something. Work. Come on.
Case Girls against Diamond, my guy. That's where it all started for you.
Yeah.
And you'd be touring the country in the fall, in the summer.
Sooner
Than later.
coming up. 0-2 to Bulio. Off speed. Just missed.
I think the catcher dropping that kind
Yeah,
of.
I think so.
Very hard.
Certainly.
It's very hard to call a strike when the catcher doesn't catch it.
Brendan Silva behind the plate, who has
I think that
Case.
was inside though.
Yeah. Bulio slices one foul. Look out. Silva has case ties. His mom, Carmelia, the department head of foreign language here at Joseph Case High School. Had her my sophomore and my junior year. 1-2, snubbed foul. Not every game can be 16-3 over there. Leo
Stay
fights
alive.
another one off.
Hey, making him throw more pitches in the
Yep.
process.
One, two.
No, got him.
Good at bat though. Chasing.
There is no shame striking out against Ben Miller.
No.
There's just,
That's his third of the day.
you can just see how much movement there is on those.
On everything.
I don't think Case
It's
is even.
not just a straight
Well,
fastball
Case,
coming in.
Case hasn't even got out of the infield yet.
No.
I mean, it's not really to their own fault. That's just the pitching they're facing.
Roth goes to an E. 2 away.
Back to Gracie.
Struck out swinging. Gracie looks at the outside corner. That's tough. That's
Off-speed
tough.
pitch on the first pitch.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That translates well to the Atlantic 10.
You can just
0-2.
you can just see that snap of it. Oh, if you're throwing curveballs on a 0-0, it's
Ben Miller, Lila Alvarez. Spot the difference. 0-2 to Gracie. High. She doesn't miss high.
she doesn't miss.
She doesn't miss high.
She
She
doesn't-
misses. She misses low and outside.
Lila-
Miller's missed high few times.
Lila doesn't throw hard either.
1-2.
Miller's got some gas on these. That's going to be a tough play.
Another bad throw by Don.
But he was already past the base.
So we can credit Gracie with another infield single.
2 hits for Casey. They're both infield
Yeah.
singles.
Hey,
That was.
take what you can get, I suppose.
That would have been a web gem if he made that. That would have
Yeah.
been a superb, but he's kicking himself, but there was nothing he really could have done. And the inning continues.
LaBeouf grounded out to Dunn.
But Miller's going to be kicking him. He's pitching this well and he's giving up 2 infield
Yeah.
singles.
I certainly would be. Gracie's got to be careful. That's in there. Beautifully placed. LaBeouf hitting 278 on the year. See?
Good pickoff.
He will. He's not afraid.
It's like
A little
when
pitch out.
Olivia Silva would just bang that down the line. You got a big lead on
Back
her.
in the day.
She would stand up and warn you once.
Yeah.
And then if you kept...
If you kept doing it, all the best to you. Gracie again. That one.
Got a good pickoff move. Gracie, great base runner, though. That really works for him. Oh, he's off for second.
He's going. The throw down to Dunn is too far out of the reach. The ball escapes to right center field. Gracie will stand in to third. And the Cardinals have something brewing.
I'll go down as an E2.
Bill Cuthbertson not too pleased. Two-one, the count to LaBeouf.
Can LaBeouf?
Contact, and you're up 1-0.
Well, there's 2 outs.
The way we're seeing it, with the couple infield singles.
That ball gets by the catcher. Gracie is gone.
Yes.
And Gracie, as you know, is very aggressive.
Good block by Silva. That might have saved the run. Miller hits 87 consistently on the fastball, and as a junior, you know, you have another summer of AAU ball to develop. You're putting yourself in a great spot to hit 89-90. LaBeouf on the ground is second. Roth will float it over.
Good contact, though.
Yeah.
No runs on a hit and an error and 1 left on. .5:30 and we're already in the 4th inning.
Everything considering, this is moving rather quickly. But it means extra baseball, perhaps. I wouldn't be opposed.
It's a nice night for it.
It's a beautiful night for it. So point of Miller hitting 87 on the fastball consistently. You know, college coaches, the magic number is usually 90. If you say you hit 90, they will automatically look at you. You can get away with the 88, the 89, depending on your off-speed stuff and your spin rate and your whatnot. He graduates next year. He's putting himself in a great position to play at a high level. That is a URI and among other mid-majors, if you will. We saw Tyler Kropis, the Seekonk ace, committed to East Tennessee State out of the Southern Conference. You know, with Furman and Samford and Western Carolina and what have you. You know, all things considering, I know New England, for you know, high school baseball, it is overshadowed, I think, by California, by Florida, by Texas. Especially you get to Southern New England, and is Connecticut in particular, there's some real talent. There is.
I guess the one thing that scouts will look against with New England players is they don't really have the easy benefit of playing year-round, like Florida, Texas.
Unless you play in an AAU that has like the indoor clinics.
Right, you have to find an indoor clinic.
Right.
That's the thing. And with Miller, by being a junior and barring an injury his senior year, is only going to get better.
Right.
And to improve on it more, he might see more. You know, he's already been being scouted as a junior. When he comes out as a senior, he could get even more interest. Any team, they always need pitchers.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
never have enough.
If you're another right-handed outfielder, well, you know,
you're a dime a dozen.
There's plenty of those.
Miller slaps that one foul behind.
Now, if Miller was as good as he is, and he was a left-handed pitcher, I think he'd already have some.
He might have been committed already.
Yeah.
Kropis. Krobus is a left-handed pitcher.
If you are a dominant, whoa,
Yeah.
left-handed starting pitcher,
Jack Orton fighting for his life. Alex Clemmie committed to Vanderbilt. Hendricken product committed to Vanderbilt after his sophomore year. Miller.
and he can hit.
Yeah. It's his second.
Well, unlike
No commotion this time. No commotion. We're good.
I don't think there's going to be much commotion with that. Now, unlike Case with McLean's not hitting. Miller is.
In place of Evan Stop.
He's hitting and batting third.
Little Shohei. Time. That hit him? Must have.
Must have been, I believe it's a hit by pitch. That must have been. That's the only thing I can think of. Coach Dave Omsonner is not.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
He's not.
We get the best view out of anybody here.
It must have been like right on the elbow guard or something.
Clipped him.
Oh boy.
And then that happens.
Head off the batting cage. Get some clarity about that in between innings.
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to get the. You want to run over there? I can take over the play-by-play for a second.
That's all right. I want to stand back because if Silva gets a hold of one, it can go.
Oh yeah. He grounded out to third his first time. Ended the inning. A crazy inning in the first. Well, that's not going to be a ground out. That's basically a bunt. That's
McLean falls down and he's got no play.
it's an infield single. For every screaming line drive, there's one of those too.
Mendoza popped out to Zach Kern at second.
Well, with Miller's speed, it's in the outfield. He's probably home. Bases loaded, no outs. You want a jam for McLean to work out of.
Corners are in. Mendoza on the ground, a short. Gracie gets the out at second. The run scores. 1-0 Falcons. Runners on the corners.
There's a great play by Gracie just to get an out.
Gowsey, 0 for 1.
RBI fielder's choice.
Yep, don't see that too often.
Well, that's a productive out. I mean, I just said this overlooked. That was a heck of a job by Gracie to get the out by a step at second. Gowsey hit it about 100 feet in the air last time.
Yeah. Almost like they came way in on the grass. Opposite direction this time.
Gowsey has a swing that if he makes contact with it, that's going to be off.
It's going.
That's off the shed in the yard up there.
Off the boat.
It's one of those all or nothing swings.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Close.
That was awfully close. Little Pujols-esque. You remember Pujols? He had a big all or nothing. Euclid, the same way. Remember, Euclid would start up here and he coming down. He is so good on TV.
Oh, yeah.
Can we just say that?
Well, they're watching that runner because he might be off for second here.
Gowsey way down the line and foul.
Where did that?
Where
honestly, did that land?
I don't know. That ball may still be in the air.
I never heard it land.
No.
Mendoza with a big lead at first.
Well, he's going.
I would imagine we're going to see him going here with 2 strikes. He's not.
Good block by Duquette.
And that would have been a great play to go on, a pitch to go on too.
Fake it down a second, and hopefully you catch Letourneau at third napping.
There we go. You get going.
Don't throw it. Don't throw it. Smart play. Don't risk yourself in that situation of getting down 2.
If you threw it down to second, that runner on third was probably scoring.
Pop up. Duquette has to hustle, as does Umschneider. Umschneider lays out for it, too far out of his reach. Count is 2-2.
Outside.
Gowsey takes one outside. Count is full. 2 ducks on the scoring pond. Gowsey lunges at that one. That's out of play.
Boy, Gowsey's a tough out.
Yeah.
This is 2 at bats that he's seen a lot of pitches. He popped out his first time.
Yeah.
That's 2-2, not 3-2. So it's not full.
Oh, now it's 2-2?
It's 2-2.
Okay.
I think it was 1-2 before, but it was hard to hear.
Gowsey on the ground.
Oh, nice
Amaral
stop.
stops it. Up, fire. Got by Umschneider. 2-0. Umschneider, that's coming towards us. Duquette has to get on the ground, and it's 3-0 Falcons. Well, that's the risk you take when you throw the ball around. And it results in Gowsey
making it to third
on a 3-base error.
Two errors on that. Still only 1 out. Now a runner at third.
Solera looks at a ball.
In the scheme of this, McLean is pitching well. He's only given up 2 hits in the inning, and one of them was an infield single.
On the ground, right to Kern. Goes to third, and he's safe.
He must have thought he could have nailed him coming back. So, Solera is safe on on a fielder's choice there. Now we got runners on first and third again.
So runners on the corner. Solera reaches on the fielder's choice, and they try to pick him off, and he gets back in. That was just confusing to me. Good block by Duquette.
Kern had a heck of a throw down to third to give him credit.
He did, but in that situation, there's no difference between a 2 and a 3 run lead. Get the out. And at that, Gowsey, not the fastest of players. If it's a kid like Gracie or Jordan Castro, who's pretty quick, all right, I understand. Kevin Gowsey's not breaking, any 60-yard dash records. McLean misses upstairs.
All right, tough inning for the Cardinals defense out there right now.
Nice spot for McLean. 2 balls and a strike.
McGarry struck out to start last inning.
On the ground,
fair.
By the glove of Amaral, that's a fair ball. It's 4-0.
RBI single. And there goes Coach Dave Olmschneider to check on McLean.
But this isn't McLean.
That ball was not very well.
This isn't McLean's fault. So this is just to calm him down and reassure him he's doing fine.
That was off the end of the bat, but it just... wraps around to Charlie Roth again.
And this all started with that confusing hit by pitch.
Well, that
We
was
still don't know what happened with that.
in the scheme of this. That was kind of lost.
It was in Latorno had scored on the confusing sequence between we're throwing to third and then first and then home and then the ball almost hit us and
And a balk.
a balk. Why not throw catcher's interference in there for extra credit? Roth in the air to left. Borges drifting to his left. They're going to try for the out at third. McGarry doesn't bite. Solera scores.
Sack fly.
And it's 5 to the Falcons. And I say this like I'm mad. I'm not mad.
No, you
This team has won 5 in a row. They've been playing great. They have. They've been playing fantastic baseball. It's the beatable teams, the 50 games, that they just can't make it a 51-49 to the good. Castro, shallow left center field. On comes Borges. He calls LaBeouf off, and the inning is over.
It's 5 runs. 1, 2, 5 runs on 3 hits.
5 runs on 3 hits. Several errors.
I have 2. There might be more than that.
We can go with that.
I have it as 2.
1 left on.
Brady's taking a quick break from. Let's see. Do it for Case. 3, 4, 5. Olmschneider, Amaral, and Borges. It's the very promising looking Ben Miller. Exceptional pitcher so far. Wind is picking up. You can always hear that on these broadcasts, Swansea Community Network. Maybe a bit before we bring you more games here at Swansea Community Network. It's only 1 game on the docket for either baseball or softball next week, and it is a conflict here that we are not able to bring that to you. But we have senior night coming up for both teams. Case baseball will certainly be hosting some tournament games. Well, you've decided to return.
I had to get some clarification.
Yep.
It was a hit by pitch.
That's what we figured. Kind of wandered off a bit. Well, now you just sported Miller a 5-run lead. Baseball, man.
I'll understand one day.
Case just went and Case just grabbed an extra chair.
Yeah, Jared Cardozo, the equipment manager.
Homesteiner with that
big
great
hack.
lefty swing. Is there a freshman team?
No.
There's just JV, and there used to
JV.
be a freshman team
When you were here.
when I was here.
That's when track also didn't have 85 kids in the program.
Look out, Brady. Jeez.
Where'd it go? Okay. I was writing in my book, and you scared me a little bit.
That's why it ended up not being as close as I thought, but it didn't spin over our heads.
Better to be safe than sorry. Holmsteiner looks at strike 3.
Looks like a pretty good pitch. But boy, Miller's just got movement on everything he throws.
Emerald hitting .294 on the year. He's started and played in every game.
Strikeout victim his first time up.
Miller's got 6. Misses.
I will say, I do see a few control issues with Miller. Rarely.
Yes,
He'll miss
but
very high.
that's all. That's where he misses. He doesn't miss outside. That's nothing you knew about that.
He just pinpoints that right on at the knees and on the outside corner.
Yeah. Right to Latorno.
That's the best hit ball of the day for
One of.
the Case
Duquette had
offense.
one similar. Lamela Buff and Borges each one had one right up the middle.
Borges hit it right, and then it was deflected and then thrown.
Off the glove of Miller. Borges looks at one low. Tuno. We're just right down Broadway.
That's just
That's 87.
87 at the corner.
Yeah. Off speed, Borges found it and fouled it off.
I'll get into it. I'll talk about the best pitcher I ever remember facing. I mentioned one from Somerset, but there's another one.
He played professionally, didn't he?
Yeah, but there's another pitcher that I remember that was even better that I struck out.
I want to say Todd Weinberg, but that's before your time,
No,
before my time.
Langfield was the one from Somerset.
Langfield.
But that's not the one I was thinking of.
Who are you thinking of?
I don't want to start the story. I'll do it in between the innings.
Okay.
I'll mention in between the innings.
2s to Borges. Did not bite. I missed a pitch. My bad on that. No, he didn't go. We knew this. That wasn't remotely close. Saltmarsh.
That field umpire's got a lot of cadence to his voice.
Yes.
He speaks well.
Perhaps an educational background.
I missed a pitch on that too.
Yeah.
I thought it was ball 3.
I thought that was also both. Nonetheless.
That goes to show how much attention we're paying.
Too many about Langfield and Weinberg and this one and that one.
Saltmarsh singled. Infield single his first time. Squibbed that in the perfect
Swinging
spot.
bunt single.
It counts.
Yes, it does.
Brings up your average.
Borges got to be careful. Oh, and 1 to Saltmarsh. Borges again. He's got to be careful.
Back standing that time.
Yeah.
Silva quick to throw that down.
2 gone in the inning. Pitch number 56 for Miller. On the ground, high chopper, Roth up, and he'll just tag Borges to end the inning.
Good play.
Sure.
So no runs. They do leave one on. No hits and no errors. So I got to remember what Langfield. I forget his first. I always forget his first name.
Ryan.
It was not Ryan. It was definitely not Ryan.
Ryan Langfield just sounds like a baseball
I
player.
think it was Dan.
Dan Langfield. He played professionally?
He was in the minors for the Reds.
Okay.
Much like we had Zach Carell was a case grad
Yes.
that was also in the minors for the Reds.
As is this kid from South Kingstown, Ben Broody, who's currently in the minors for the Reds.
Look at
The Reds love Southern New England.
Yeah, Dan Langfield, single A at the Dighton Tortugas, but nothing's been updated. And
You've told me about him because remember I told you about the voiceover work I did for the Daytona Tortugas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. But that's not. When I was 14, I remember we were in our elimination game in the tournament. We ended up getting mercy ruled in this game. We played Swampscott, and I still talk to my father about this kid. I have no idea what his name is. He was this tall lefty with a Dontrell Willis-like, high leg kick.
Yeah, yep.
I don't remember his name, and maybe we can track this guy down now. He's in his 30s along with me. They called him Duke. He threw a no-hitter against us. It was 5-inning no-hitter. But this kid just had so much movement on every one of his pitches. It just, snapped in. And I struck out on 3 pitches. I didn't even swing. Every single pitch looked like it was outside. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. And it's just I've never faced a pitcher with as much movement as this kid had.
This isn't fair.
Yeah, I have no idea. I will probably never know what his name is. They called him Duke.
Well, I'm assuming if he was that good,
and
he must have played.
I remember my father talked to the coach, and the coach said that he wasn't even their top pitcher. He was just a guy they had that they threw out.
Oh, he's just a casual guy.
Because when we went to the state, whatever the bracket we were in, literally the only other teams were Somerset and Seekonk. Little League. 'Cause at the time, Somerset was a Little League. They're not a Little League anymore. So we only had to play 3 teams, and the team I was on was stacked. Ben Montero was one of our better players. The son of a long-time case teacher Joe Montero. Just to name one player. But the point is, we only had 3 games to play. So we basically won the games, and then we got all of our starting pitching back for the tournament. And these other teams had this 16 bracket gauntlet. Our second game that we played, I mentioned one broadcast we did earlier. Oh, it's off the base. It's a fair ball.
Couldn't do that again if he tried.
That's just Ben Miller, 3 for 3.
You know Johnny Petsky's from Swampscott?
I did not know that.
No, neither did I until right now.
The first team that we played was that super hot game against North Reading, and then we played Millbury, I think, but they had just finished coming out of the losers bracket to win their tournament, so by the time they made it to the state, they had no pitching left. That's just the thing. You got to have so much depth when it comes to this. Lucas Letourneau was the batter during the wonky hit-by-pitch sequence.
Yeah.
He comes in 1 for 1. The single hit by pitch and a run scored. He was the opening run of that salvo, the opening salvo there last inning on the fielder's choice.
The sea of runs.
5 of them. Which for Case softball, that's just another.
That's an inning.
It's just a normal inning for
It's a
them.
casual inning on a casual Thursday afternoon. Miller had to be careful.
You look at the Case softball score sometimes, it's like you're playing a video game on easy mode sometimes. It's just, I mean, they won 1-0 yesterday, but I mean, they beat Old Rochester 28-0.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
It's just.
Letourneau, a mile high. No man's land. Kern there, called off by Bulio. Bulio going to attempt to double Miller.
Oh!
He gets back in time.
Oh.
Nice play, though.
I was wondering what he was doing with that. Miller was kind of taking his time.
Yeah.
He almost got him. Coach Dave Olscheid was pleased with that.
Breeze starting to pick up.
Yeah. Temperature's dropping a bit. I have my sweatshirt just in case I need it.
Top of the 5th.
Sun is going down too.
Sunset projected at 7:50 today. Silva swings and misses at strike 1.
Brendan Silva's 1 for 2. Ground out to third. He singled and was. He did not score. He was the force out at second last inning. Got a good bat.
Right on cue. Emerald did enough to knock it down. He's got no play.
Another infield single. I think there have been more infield singles in this game than I've seen in the rest of the games we've ever done combined. And he's hurt.
Yeah.
Emerald
was battling a sprained finger.
Well, that might go down in the book as an infield single, but that could have been a double.
Step aside. Cardinals down 5 on Swansea Community Network.
We're back a little bit earlier than we expected.
Yeah.
That was usually there's those injury timeouts take up a bit more time, but
Looked more of a cautionary.
Emerald looks like he's all right over there now.
Mendoza's hitless.
I'd had the wind knocked out of him. I'm not sure. You can get an update on that later.
Hanging curveball. Kern.
Infield fly.
Yep.
Umpire was right on that. Both of them called it immediately.
Gowsey, the tough out. Good stop by Duquette. Wanted to try to get Silva.
Gowsey's seen about 15 pitches in this game so far. He's a tough out. He reached on. He reached on the error last time and then went all the way around to third as a result of the errors.
Speaking of errors.
Wild pitch. Not an error, just a wild pitch. The coach is out there telling him, you don't have to hit it.
Yeah.
400 feet.
You don't. He's exactly right.
If Gowsey gets that in the right spot, we assume that it's pronounced Gowsey. That's just us, Brady and I, at Swansea Media Network's best guess.
That's what I was told. Gowsey in the air to left. Borges drifting back. Plenty of room. And the Falcons finally retired. They strand 2 on 2 hits. Cardinals still down 5.
He almost got that out of there. That was only a few feet from the fence. So the R doesn't score. They also only had 1 hit. On to the bottom of the 5th we go as Brady's off to do something. Not really sure where he's going. Due up for K789, Duquette, Ballou, and Kern to face Miller. Case only has 2 hits so far, both infield singles. Have yet to put the ball into the outfield, looking to change that here.
I saw it.
Where did you go? Did you just throw the cup away?
I went to the trash. And Ella, the softball team is here. Ella Preston asked me what the score was.
I was gonna say you can't go anywhere without talking to someone. Like you just have to.
They talked to me first.
That's fair. Okay, whatever.
I was on a mission, and I don't mind chatting, of course, but I was on a mission.
Yeah. I've only ever seen the softball team from, with distance and with helmets on. So I wouldn't even be able to know what they looked like. You go to school with them. I'm
Right.
a long time removed from that there, my guy.
Jaquette Bulio-Kern.
Yep. As I said, while you were on your trash run, the Case has 2 hits, both infield singles. A couple hard hit balls, but nothing has left the infield yet. Like last inning, Amaral smashed that, but right to first. And think about the Case has a couple hard hit balls, and then their fair share of infield singles as well. And if you manage to get that on the ground up the third base line and not hit very hard, you're probably going to get a hit out of it. Or at minimum an error, because that's not an easy throw, because then you're losing your momentum as you go pick it up. Ben Miller looking pretty on point as we expected he would. I am not disappointed by seeing someone of his ability pitch. I'm just happy I'm not out there trying to hit it.
You and me both.
Yeah, I never made it to varsity ball.
Me neither.
I did 2 years.
I mean, obviously that makes sense, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you would be here most likely. Sophomore, junior year, I did JV, and then I could have played on my senior year, but I would have not really played at all.
Who was the coach at that time?
Joe Montero.
It was Joe Montero.
Yep. So Joe kind of pulled me aside and said, well, like, hey, I mean, I'll keep you on the team if you want to be on the team, but just letting you know you're probably not going to play a lot. So then I thought about some options, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try track. So I did.
What'd you run?
I did a few different things. My big thing was javelin.
Okay.
I actually qualified for the regionals in the javelin. One of the meets we had against the Ponequit, I just absolutely uncorked one. I don't even remember how far, but I never even came close other than that. I just happened to just let it loose one time. But everything else I did, because what they do for track is, at least if you're running, I
ran 400 hurdles.
The only one that counts is the first heat.
Yes.
And if you're not in the first heat, then they don't even record your score. It's just for fun.
Right.
It's a courtesy runner, I think.
It's Caden Gonzalez.
It's a courtesy runner there at first, yep. Let Duquette go back and get the gear on.
Yep. Bulio for 1, struck out swinging.
To answer your question, I remember doing the 400 once, and I almost died afterward. I did the mile once.
Did the 800 once. Wanted to die.
Yeah. I did the mile once because we didn't have many people to do it, and I actually got second out of 3.
What's painful is the 4x4.
Oh, the relay? I was part of that one.
4x4 is rough.
Yeah.
4x1's not bad. I've done that. 4x1's not bad.
The 4x4. Oh, yeah.
4x4 is bad.
Yeah. I also went into the 400 once. They were just looking for people to do it, and I'm like, oh, I did it. And then I just started off like running full sprint to start it off.
Nope.
And I'm like, yep, I was not in very good shape after that.
No.
I was in bad shape the next day.
Sometimes I do athletic activities, and I am reminded on how, like, I mean, I look fine, but like physically not in the greatest condition. A ball gets by Silva, Gonzalez to second.
No, I'm not as physically active as I used to be.
No, me neither.
Yeah. I played sports all the time. Baseball was my big thing. I played a very regrettable year of freshman football.
What'd you play?
I didn't. I played at the kickoffs.
You're a special teamer. All right. Hands team?
Actually, Dave Farrell was the coach.
Really?
Yep. My freshman year. I only made 1 tackle, and I hurt the kid. the other team. I made the tackle, and he was screaming in agony, and he like pulled himself to the sideline.
This is Kern, 0 for 1.
Rounded to second.
Gonzalez off a second. Kern looks at a strike.
Just zips in
Not
there.
fair.
That's just whoosh. I'm going to be interested to see the angle of the camera that director Adam Kitchen's going to have. Let's see how much we can pick up on that. Oh, man.
Wow.
That thing just...
Not much you can do about that. Honestly. And Kern has seen, the LaSalle transfer, he's seen some talent. I put Ben Miller up there with just about anybody.
He's the best pitcher I remember seeing here in some time. I'm not going to say ever.
0-2. Missed high.
If I say he's the best pitcher that I've ever seen in here, I'm going to get an inbox the day after this game airs from Paul Summers with some stats about that, so I'm not going to say ever. Best that I've seen in some time here.
My bad, Paul. 1-2.
He's excellent. I'll give him that.
Oh, he is.
Look at that. Oh,
Another
what
one, but that got away, though, from Silva. Up in fire. Gonzalez holds. 2 away for Gracie. 1 for 2.
I mean, that broke so much.
Yeah, it did. It did. Cardinals could use a base hit here from Gracie.
High.
Inside.
That was the first wild pitch as well.
Silva's been pretty solid back
when
there.
Duquette advanced. But if it's a wild pitch, it's not the catcher's fault either.
True.
The pitch was just way got away. So Miller, maybe his control is escaping him a bit, but this is pretty dominant.
Sky high. This should end the inning.
And it will. Well, they got a base runner, but they didn't go. They went to second. So 1 left on and no hits.
Solera, McGarry, Roth due up for
runs.
Dighton Rehoboth.
5-0. I know there's always a time where opinions can change, but so far, this has been a very well umpired game.
I think so.
From both the plate.
Yeah.
I mean, there haven't been any real controversial plays out in the field, but both of these gentlemen definitely look like they know what they're doing. They've done this a lot of times before.
Thanks for joining us once again. Brady Kudo, Tyler Clark. Fabulous, fabulous, best production team in the SEC.
I thought you were about to comment the weather.
Well, that too.
That's
certainly fantastic weather.
Running out of games for you to do here for
Shush.
Yeah.
Shush. Don't cross the bridge of retirement until it's steady until we get to it, right? Let's enjoy. If I can find where my pen went.
We have at least one more baseball and softball game.
So, 2 more total.
2 more total, and then the postseason.
And the playoffs, which
both teams will probably host at least one.
Cardinals, maybe.
Softball for sure.
Softball, definitely. If it holds now, they'll ride through till the semifinals. And depending on how that goes.
Well, Case Baseball had a losing record, and they hosted last year.
Right. Hosted a play-in, so we'll see.
We had all the equipment set up, and then the other team.
I don't know where that is.
That's center.
Okay, I thought that was coming towards us. 1 away.
Caught by Gracie. I don't know if that was necessarily Gracie's ball to catch.
You know, I don't think it was, but, you know, they say 75% of the earth is covered by water. The other 25% is covered by Adam Gracie. So
He's got range. It's a big void. He's a senior?
yeah, Gordon College next year.
That's a void
Out of the
they're gonna have
GNAC.
to fill.
McGarry, 1 for 2. Chop foul.
Well, if that was fair, that was probably another infield single.
Oh, Emerald was pretty
You know,
on it pretty quickly.
McGarry singled down the line last time. Got an RBI out of it.
Yeah. He hit the base. That hit the base. That was the one that hit the base? Yeah.
No.
No?
That
Who
was
hit the
not-
base? Brennan Silva?
No, Miller.
Miller hit. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Miller hit the
that's
base.
That's right.
If you hit the base, you know it's fair.
Right. Good miss from McLean. In the air, Borges. Nice play. And the GQ slide to go with it.
Let's give McLean a lot of credit. Other than that one inning, he's pitched
Which
exceptionally.
wasn't his fault. I'm going to keep going back to that. This realistically could be 1-0.
So the one
This
run,
should be 0-0.
the one run that came,
No.
the first
yeah,
one,
okay, because I'm wrong. It should be 1-0.
maybe 2. Well,
Okay.
let's see.
Sure. Sure.
1 for sure, because that, and then things
Yeah.
went
Go
off.
ahead. But say what you were going to say what you were going to say.
But I mean,
He's pitched a great ball game.
the best pitchers lose, 1-0, 2-0. Look at the Red Sox. I mean, you got
Yeah.
Tanner Houck and Cutter Crawford have been out of their minds good and have a modest return in wins.
Right.
Felix Hernandez won the Cy Young Award and had the record for the least amount of run support ever by a pitcher in the live ball era.
Tip in the mitt. 2-2.
Roth is 1 for 2. Had a sac fly last time up. McLean actually looks as sharp as he ever has right now.
Another one. Eh?
Roth is a pesky out.
Yeah. Majority of this 1 through 9 are pesky outs. Something I've noticed. Roth, Castro, Miller, Silva, Gauzy, even McGarry.
I was just listening to what that exchange. I don't think it was anything really.
Yeah, they're just making sure Duquette's all right. Even Solera, the eight-hole hitter, is a tough out.
Oh, this top to bottom, this DR team can hit.
Right.
Oh, nice
pitch.
pitch.
All you can do is admire that. And we're halfway through 6.
I mean, McLean has three up, 3 down innings. 3 out of 6 innings.
Yeah,
He's only
3
seen
up, 3
3.
It was that one inning.
1, 2, 3. He faced 5. Well, the first inning was wacko, as you remember. I'm not even gonna count the.
Sure.
So other than that, he faced 3 batters in the 2nd, 3rd, and 6th, and in the 5th he only faced 5. And one of them was a hit off the base.
Yeah.
But that's not really the main talking point of this. The main talking point is Ben Miller being
Dominant.
as good, if not better, than we both thought.
To say the least.
I don't see that changing either.
No.
Even with the top of the order up 2, 3, 4.
He's had no problem against anyone. 1 through 9, really.
I said 2 hits, and they're both infield singles.
Right.
Neither of them were, Saltmarsh was bang, bang at first. Both of them Both of them were just hitting that void, that triangle between the pitcher, third base, and shortstop. But and he's given up 2 walks. So 2 walks and 2 infield singles. Who is the pitcher from Seekonk?
Tyler Kropis.
Have they ever faced?
Yes.
Was that 1-0?
It didn't go well.
It did not go well for Miller?
It didn't go well for the Cardinals. There you go. Solid contact by LaBeouf. He's in there.
Infield single.
Yep, another one.
I know, I meant did Kropis and Miller face each other when DR Seekonk faced?
I don't recall.
I know Case lost their first time.
I don't recall. Did they even play yet this year?
I don't know. I'm curious if you have Kropis.
Like I'd pay solid money to see that
face
game.
Miller.
Let me find it. Because I should know, but I don't.
Well, Buff can fly, so I'm not surprised he beat that out. It's a heck of a try.
Yeah. Schneider looks at strike one.
Again, the curveball in the first pitch.
All right, they played on May 2nd. Seekonk won 13-0.
I don't think Miller pitched in that game.
I don't think Miller pitched in that game either. I think he, I don't know. And then they play again on the 20th in Dighton.
I mean, the odds of them.
I'd be stunned if Miller pitched in that game. Gracie dives back safely. I'm not 100% certain, but if that is the case, I would be flabbergasted, truly.
I would drive out to see that game.
On the 20th? You want to go?
We'll see if that's assuming that's who the 2 pitchers are, but I don't know if there's any way for us to ever know.
Did he catch that? Wow! What an effort by Gavin Solera, who came from the Philippines to catch that.
Holy moly! I was just talking about something else because I thought that was just going to be a.
Well, it looked like it, and I saw Solera come in, and I waited to see if he did catch that, and he did. Beautiful play.
I can't believe he caught that. That was full extension. I apologize. I was still talking when I thought that, I saw that ball.
All right.
I thought it was going to go over the fence, or else I would have stopped.
Well, it certainly looked like it.
And then there was that stunned realization of, wait, did you just catch that?
Amaral, this is his happy place, is against Ben Miller. Remember, 3 for 4 in their first meeting. He's 0 for 2 today.
Miller's worked on his mechanics some this year. Emerald did hit it hard his last time up. He just lined it right to first.
And he wanted that one. LaBeouf is gone on the delayed steal and
he's out.
Is tagged out.
Not quite sure what happened on that.
Yeah, I think it was a delayed steal that.
Oh, Silva threw a rifle down to second.
Yes.
On top of that. That was right on. Yeah,
Amaral.
just like that,
Yep.
the inning is over. They did get a hit.
Yeah.
That's 6 shutout innings from Miller. I am not surprised, given how good his pitching is. They're going to let McLean come out and finish the game. I mean, why not? He's actually pitched well. Now,
Yeah, he has.
I need to go back in and see how many of those runs were unearned.
4 of them. I want to say 4.
I would say it's got to be at least.
It's at least 2. No more than 4.
Yeah, the first run was definitely an earned run. McGarry had an RBI single, but that runner was on.
3.
3 unearned runs?
3 unearned runs.
Okay.
Because it was the single by Miller and the hit by pitch by Letourneau. 3 unearned runs.
Well, but Letourneau's hit by pitch. Oh, I see.
Scored on that. Scored on one of the errors.
Yeah.
3 unearned runs. So anyway, we met in the middle.
That was somewhere around there. It's a rare game. I think you pointed out before. If you'd like to mention who's in the crowd for Case softball, they don't usually get to see the baseball team play.
No, this is a rarity for sure.
I know Ella Preston's over there. I don't know who else
Ella
is.
Preston, Bree Fonts, Sky Dupree, Lila Alvarez, Nicole Rebello, Maddie Botello, Isabel Janicki. That's it. Some track athletes as well. Maddie Duquette. No, the entire Duquette family here. Stacy and Eric a little behind home plate. Jordan Castro is 0 for 3, reached on an error in the first.
I have to say this.
Yeah.
His batting stance
I like it.
just looks like Jason Castro. Longtime
Yes,
catcher for
the Twins and the Astros.
Lefty catcher.
Yes.
Lefty hitter, I should say, through right-handed.
Yep. I know
very,
what you mean.
Very similar.
2-1 quickly.
He comes in 0 for 3. He reached on an error and flew out to left twice.
Count even at 2.
A golf swing.
Bill Cuthbertson preaching for just contact and base runners. Add to this lead.
A little outside.
Not sure where that missed. Count juiced. Payoff pitch. Fouled it. Off near us.
I think he swung a ball there.
Yeah, we might have.
Was that 2 and 2 or 3 and 2?
3 and 2.
And that was indeed
Yeah.
his coach telling him to concentrate.
Cuthbertson's been quiet just about all game.
And here comes the game MVP.
Yeah. And he's had every reason to be quiet.
6 shutout innings and then 3 for 3 at the plate
Yeah.
with 3 singles and a run scored.
Nice block by Duquette.
I've not mentioned this before with him, but what are we coming in at? 6'2", 6'3" for Miller for height.
6'2", 170. Let me double check on.
Junior, so
It's in there. 6'2", 185.
still got another year. That Duke kid was probably at least 6'4" when I faced him, Swampscott.
Throw over, check on Castro. Two and 1.
Time called to dust the plate off.
Miller right back to McLean, hit his glove, spins, fires. Schneider couldn't pick it. Runners will hold.
Oh, we're throwing the error on for that.
McLean,
That was his low throw.
not a good throw at all.
The error for some insurance.
Turno's 1 for 2.
Single scored after being hit by a pitch. Fly ball to right. His 3 plate appearances. DR already up by 5 with another good scoring chance here.
I've had several of these, only capitalized on 1. That's in there. Change up for strike 1.
McLean still needs to know that he's pitched very well.
Yes, and I think he does know that.
Is he a senior?
Junior.
Junior.
Seniors, my group, it's Adam, Will, Ben, whoever's on the poster over there. Jack.
You have a poster yourself.
I do it. They did give me a poster. They spelled announcer wrong on the poster.
Oh.
It's okay. Mistakes were made. People were forgiven. All for fun. I was thankful they gave me one to begin with. Charno cut and a miss. One, 2.
Well, if you're a DR boys athlete and you play basketball and baseball, you get exactly 1 coach.
Bill Cuthbertson.
He's been there a long time,
Yes,
too.
he has. His wife has been at a Pontiac field hockey, Cindy, for a long time. She was previously at DR before making the interconference switch. She was Kerry McElroy's field hockey coach. So just to show you how long the Cuthbertsons have been around.
Yeah. Kerry McElroy.
Kerry likes to joke about her age. She's not old by any means.
She's got an incredible field hockey mind.
Yes.
Knows every rule. Constantly officiating all over the place.
The state. Payoff pitch.
She's not officiating. She's here.
On the ground, right to Gracie. Steps on the bag.
Double play.
Gets the out at first. Nice play by Gracie. Yeah, she gravitates towards the hakamak for her officiating duties.
We were talking about officiating. That really was a great turn there by Gracie for
Yeah.
the double play. They still got the 3rd.
Silva's 2 for 3. Base hits. One of them an awkward swinging bunt. Blocked by Duquette. He's had a great game behind the plate. Down the line and left. Borges a long way to go, and it's over his head. Castro scores from 3rd. Borges got to get in quickly. Heaves it to Kern, and Silva is 3 for 4.
RBI double.
They're going to get a courtesy runner in for Silva. It's Liam Blankish, a junior second baseman.
For Maddox Mendoza,
Who was hitless.
but has an RBI and has scored a run.
Off the glove of Amaral. Gracie deep in the hole, has no play.
Another infield
The
single.
announcer's jinx is alive and well, is it now?
Ball was very well hit.
As soon as I said it, though.
And I think
And I was going to say, I believe McLean's night is done. It is Lucas Saltmarsh is coming on. Jack Orton out there as well. We'll see what Coach Yu decides to do. Olmschneider will give it to Olmschneider. Saltmarsh will take over at first. As Reed Olmschneider warms up, we'll step aside. Dighton Rehoboth up 6, top of the 7th. These are.
I know. I'll get it later. That glove's wearing out. Do you want another one? Yeah. All right, I'll give you the one in my car. We'll switch them out.
Go back.
That's what I heard.
Are we good?
Reed Schneider will take over.
Well, McLean still pitched very well.
He did.
He needs to understand that.
And I think he does.
There's been
well.
a hard luck, barring a miracle comeback by Case in the bottom of the 7th.
Schneider's third appearance of the year. 1-0.
For Gowsey, who is 0 for 3 but scored a run.
Yep.
Almost hit it out of here last time.
Runners on the corners. Gowsey knobs that one foul. One and two. The count. Schneider fakes it. That was very dangerous.
It's a good play by Saltmarsh.
Yeah,
there.
to keep that from being a 7-run ball game. You don't see that too often, the fake to third to try to get the first. I mean, there is 2 outs. But still, a solid attempt at it. Schneider misses high. Duquette doesn't bother. And looks like a missed sign.
Real.
2-2,
really
got it.
up.
One last chance for the Cardinals.
One run on, I believe they had 2 hits.
An error. 2 left on.
Yeah, 1 error and then 2 left on. That is indeed the last at bat for the Falcons. They would end the game with still a pretty modest 9 hits.
Yeah.
However, I count 4 errors, and that's assuming I didn't miss any. And
it was at least 4.
What's more, 7 left on.
Yeah.
And that includes 3 innings of nothing.
Which is shocking.
Miller going for the complete game shutout. I mean, why not at this point? We got Borges, Saltmarsh, and Duquette due up. the kudos there are to Ben Miller.
Oh.
It's been a remarkable pitching
I
performance.
wasn't sure where you were going with that. I heard kudo. I was like, what?
Got to be like Tommy Heinsohn used to have a Tommy Award. Have a kudo award
Yeah.
for every game. Didn't we do that once briefly? I think it's like
Probably.
it's like a memory I have.
An age-old thing. Who knows?
I mean, this is the 5th season of sports I'm doing
Isn't
with
that
you.
crazy?
He started in 8th grade.
Good
Your
Lord.
freshman season.
My 4th year, my 4th calendar year, it was just completed, my 5th season. That one skips away from Silva.
Yeah, your first. We exclusively did basketball, and that was cut short with COVID as well. And you were color for every game except that
one.
Valentine's Day. You did it with your good friend. Well, he became your friend after that, Keegan Hamblett.
Who says hi, by the way. I talked to him the other day.
And then from there, your freshman year, we were still able to do basketball games your freshman year. And baseball, softball, and field hockey only for 3.
I am going to consider some things here. Chopper, play down, and Letourneau had to come off the bag, but he was able to apply the tag to Borges. 1 away. Of course, just consider some things here.
Did I make you sad?
You will on May 23rd,
Yeah.
depending on what you do, if you do anything.
Is that a hint?
I don't know, is it?
I don't know. Perhaps I already have something in mind.
Oh, Lord. Better not. Too late for that, though, I'm sure. As I've said to numerous other people.
Wow!
Saltmarsh, there you go.
That's the first solid contact.
That rolls all the way to the wall, and Saltmarsh has a stand-up double.
What did I say when he got up in the first inning?
Yeah.
What did I say? I said if
Oh, yeah.
anyone in this
No, I
league-
knew. If he was going to make contact, if anyone was going to make solid contact, it was going to be him.
You're good. He's
Landon
got-
Caton's going to run for him.
He's got 2 hits. That's tattooed in the
Yeah.
gap. Something to give the fans to cheer about.
Yeah.
If he comes home, Miller's going to be swearing to himself that he'll bus ride home. Give up a run. Duquette 1 for 2. He had a hard grounder his first time up.
0 for 1.
0 for 1. Oh, sorry, 0 for 1. I mean, his 2 plate, he walked the second time. His second plate appearance.
That's right there. Oh, 2 to the count to Duquette. 0 for 1. 88th pitch of the day for Miller.
Out of the way.
Duquette fights one off. That did make contact with that white sedan.
There you go.
The fire hydrant cannot protect it fully. Duquette with another life. Fights off another.
That just clanged off of something else.
Yeah. Off speed. That's pretty.
Oh. Oh, man.
So, 2 gone for Bulio, who's struck out twice. Second at-bat was solid.
He's going to look to prolong the game here.
There's a chance. In the dirt, skips by Silva. Saltmarsh to third. Caden, excuse me, to third.
That's okay. Everybody wants the shutout. It's like losing a no-hitter with 2 outs in the 9th.
The JV game is over. Dighton Rehoboth took it 6-4. Who's the defensive player of the year in the NBA? Not surprised at all. 1 up. In the dirt again. Wembanyama, of course, won Rookie of the Year, not surprisingly.
Quote me on this, and I'm expecting to see a Boston-Minnesota NBA Finals.
Won't be shocked. Not in the slightest.
Minnesota's got a good look.
Just missed. Miller takes his time. Bulio, I'm assuming, will be patient here. 3-0 to Lubob. Missed. How about this? Fatigue, perhaps? I mean, that was pitch number 95.
There's a lot of pitches, and there's no... Is there a pitch count limit in high school?
No,
there isn't.
Cuthbertson still in the dugout. Nobody warming in the pen.
Oh, he wants to let Miller finish this. I don't think there's any debate about that. Kern's 0 for 2.
2 gone in the inning. Runners on the corners. Kern looks one right down Main Street.
Below goes. They might just let him have second if he goes. I mean, if you're Miller.
Sky high. This should do it.
That might do it here.
Silva under. That's it.
Well, good effort there by Case to try to get something across, but no can do. 6-0.
6-0. The final.
Well,
Miller with the win.
Positive note, we did get to see Miller pitch, and that guy is going places.
McLean with the loss. Just under 2 hours. 7-0, your final. For our director, Helen Sod, our producer, Adam Kitchen, my partner, Tyler Clark, and the rest of our crew.
6-0.
I said 6-0.
You said 7.
6-0. It's 6. I wrote 6 in the book. Brady Kudo saying so long and good night before he can announce anything else wrong.